going to show you how to successfully work a Hoyer lift. I work at a nursing home, so I have lots of experiences with Hoyer lifts. The Hoyer lift has come a long way from two people lifting a resident and blowing out their back to a machine that lifts by cranking it with handles to a lift that does everything just by the touch of a button. A Hoyer lift is a mechanical lift that is used to transfer residents, usually from the bed to a chair, to a wheelchair, or to a toilet. It can be used if a resident has fallen and needs to be picked up off the ground. It is used for patients who cannot move on their own or can minimally move. The lift is normally electric or hydraulic in mechanism. Hydraulic meaning liquid power. The importance of a Hoyer is so that the resident gets transferred safely and comfortably to where he or she needs to be, and so that the caregiver does not get hurt while transferring the resident. The function of the lift are very important to know before a caregiver starts using a Hoyer lift on an actual patient. What the characteristics of the lift look like are important also so that the caregiver will know what they are looking for. Being able to know the parts of a Hoyer lift is beneficial so that all caregivers know what each other are talking about when they are referring to the lift. The functions of the lift. A Hoyer lift allows 1 to 2 aides to transfer a resident instead of many aides or nurses to turn or lift a resident. The lift is more comfortable for patients that are having trouble bending or standing on their own. It allows them to remain in a supine position, which means lying flat on your back, and gently putting them into a sitting position, such as in a wheelchair. The typical people that would use a Hoyer lift are the nursing staff at a hospital, a nursing home, or assisted living home. The Hoyer lift can also be used in a patient's home. A family member can operate the lift if properly trained on how to use it. Also, the residents that use the lift would be the ones that cannot move easily around their own. This lift is used to lift residents who cannot easily be lifted on their own. It is used to lift residents that are too heavy to be comfortably or safely moved otherwise. The lift can lift up to 500 pounds. The Hoyer lift is like it's a robot that resembles kind of like a person, if looking at it straight on. It has a head that is curved down, and that is what is hooked onto the sling, which therefore is hooked onto the resident, wraps around it kind of like a blanket, and hooks onto the cradle. Then there is a long pole, like the body, that goes down to the legs. But before we get to the legs, there are the arms. They're shaped like this, and that the caregiver can use to steer the lift back and forth. There's also the belly of the lift, which consists of the control panel and the remote and the battery. And now down to the legs. It looks as though the person is sitting on their bottom. The legs can open wide and then close about shoulder width apart. The Hoyer lift is usually quite big, about the size of an average person, about my height, kind of. It's shaped like a person, like I said, and if you're looking at it sideways, with its legs closed, it looks like the capital letter L. The lift itself weighs about 60 pounds, and some can hold up to about 500 pounds, others can hold up to about 350 or 400. The lift is made of a metal, and the sling that is used to lift the residents is made of a heavy cloth material. The color of the lift comes in a variety of colors, but most of them are about gray with a hint of color. The sling is usually blue and green. Now, here is a diagram that I have of the lift. It just shows the lift, but I have a better picture over here if you'd like to look at this one. This here would be called the cradle. The cradle holds the sling that in turn holds the resident. There would be 2 straps that would hook into each of these. the boom, which is right here, which is a very strong bar that holds the cradle and the resident. The mast, which would be this area right here, it is connected to the boom and it moves up and down in order to raise and lower the resident. The battery pack, which is right here, holds the battery, and there is a light on the box that tells when the battery is getting low. There's also an emergency button, which is this green button right here on the battery pack, and you can press that to lower or raise the residence if the battery has died. The remote, which is connected to the arms right here, that it raises and lowers the mast and opens and closes the base, which are the legs. The base, also known as the legs right here, they open and close, making it easy for the resident to be transferred just about anywhere. The casters, which are also known as the wheels, on the lift, they're on the lift. They make the lift easy to move around the room. The caster brakes, they lock the wheels if need be. For instance, if a resident is sitting on the toilet, the caregiver would lock the brakes to the lift so it doesn't move. All of these parts function together to make the lift move as easy as possible. If one thing doesn't work correctly, then it will alter the usage of the lift, and the lift will then be out of commission until the unit on the lift that is broken is fixed. Altogether, the Hoyer lift is a wonderful tool that has been invented. It has helped many nursing homes, hospitals, and assisted living homes, and even residential homes transfer comfortably and safely a resident from one place to another with minimal effort. It has saved many caregivers issues with back pain. There are many different types of lift out there, but they all do the same thing, and that is to safely transfer a resident. The significance of the Hoyer lift is very high because it saves the residents from falls and transferring themselves, and it saves the caregiver significant amounts of pain and manual labor. After hearing this, a caregiver will be able to properly work a functioning lift. They will know the functions of the lift, the physical characteristics, and the parts to help them make a successful transfer. Thank you.